Modern compact sedans are by and large well-equipped and well-built. There is also a greater emphasis on style and design, with automakers treating even their lowliest offerings as expressions of a driver's personality rather than a big neon sign saying "I'm a cheapskate." The redesign of both the Hyundai Elantra and Toyota Prius typifies this approach. Both are over-designed, tech-filled cars that still retain the segment's hallmarks of efficiency and affordability. Just don't go expecting a wild and crazy driving experience. That part of the compacts market hasn't changed. But which one should you get? Let's find out. Over the years, driving a Toyota Prius was a rolling admission that you'd be willing to sacrifice everything on the altar of maximum fuel economy. The first thing that stands out is how desirable the new Prius looks, which sounds wild just saying it out loud. This came about because Chief Engineer Satoki Oya, newly assigned to the 5th generation Prius program, pursued a love-at-first-sight approach. He allowed the designers the freedom to do whatever they want, in stark contrast to what he termed the relentless pursuit of aerodynamic efficiency that produced the prior weird models. This led to a 2023 Prius that is longer, lower, and wider, but its stance is even more dramatic than those numbers suggest. New 17 and 19-inch wheels are covered with 2-inch taller tires, and those wheel assemblies are shoved nearer to the corners thanks to a track width that's broader by a whopping 2.3 inches up front and 2 inches out back. Meanwhile, the wheelbase is a full 2 inches longer. As for the Elantra, let me start by saying I like its exterior design, especially because the last one was just so damn conservative. The latest generation, with its hard body lines, expressive fascia, and odd grille, is just the sort of funky that makes sense for a small car. A vaguely bustleback rear is a nice touch, and Hyundai's designers styled it up with an attractive strip of LEDs and a prominent Elantra wordmark. But I can also appreciate the views of some folks that might find it too choppy and a bit weird. The proportions can seem odd, with a somewhat cab-forward emphasis and a sloping hood that clashes with the more modern touches. When it comes to the exterior, I just have to say it. The new 2023 Prius is an absolute gem from a design standpoint. Jumping inside, complementing the Prius's exterior design, dramatic changes happened inside too. As standard, the 5th gen models come with the BZ4X's inspired front instrument panel, sit deep in the dashboard. It helps break up a long dash but also eliminates the need for a head-up display. It's a nice feature that hits you with that "why didn't we do this earlier?" You can sit the wheel nice and low and still see all the important info clearly. A wraparound dashboard enhances the feeling of front seat space, as does the slimline dashboard. Material quality is generally pretty good, with only the door armrests and not fooling anywhere carbon weave trim really raising eyebrows. There are clever touches like the dual-plane climate control buttons on the dashboard, which take up less space than a flat 2-row and are easier to use without looking. And the smartphone holder besides the shifter is a godsend. Too many wireless pads don't actually keep the phone charging, but this one does. The central touchscreen is an 8-inch display on the LE, but a generous 12.3-inch unit is optional on the XLE and standard on the Limited. Wireless smartphone mirroring is standard. Both systems are smooth and intuitive enough to use. As for the Elantra, the cabin's overall design is attractive, with Hyundai putting its advanced technology in such a prominent place. A Mercedes-Benz style slab of glass houses twin displays, both 10.3-inch units on the range-chopping Elantra Limited, while a 4-spoke steering wheel looks like something plucked from Audi. Honestly, there are worse places to poach designs from than Germany. The interior is well laid out with a driver-focused cockpit, there are easy-to-use knobs for climate control and radio, and there is a well-considered spot for your phone with wireless charging in front of the shifter and well-placed cup holders. And if you are an enthusiastic driver, there is a grab handle for your passenger too. When it comes to comfort and interior space, the Toyota's swoopy roofline does reduce headroom by 1.4 inches up front and 1 inch in the back. The extra wheelbase helps, allowing 0.9 inches more front legroom and an added 1.4 inches behind. That changes the driving position to one that's far more agreeable and less upright. Adjusting the steering wheel does feel odd enough though, because at first it seems like the wheel must be in your lap to see the instruments. That's mostly an illusion, as the steering column cover is uniquely styled to blend into the dash. Cargo space is down a bit though, with the LE offering 24 cubic feet and the XLE and Limited good for 20 cubic feet. Rearward visibility takes a small hit too, owing to the loss of the hatch's vertical glass panel. As for the Elantra, the cabin is roomy and will happily seat 4 adults. There is an impressive 38 inches of the second row legroom, which is 3.6 inches more than in the Prius, but the front bucket seats and rear bench are uninspiring and flat, offering modest support. There is leather upholstery on this top-level model, and chairs are heated. Sadly, Hyundai limits ventilated seats to the Hybrid Limited model. Getting in and out of any seat is easy too, with wide opening doors and a generous roofline. The Elantra has a decent trunk with 14.2 cubic feet of space, which is 6 cubic feet less than you will get in the Prius. When it comes to pricing, the completely reimagined Prius went on sale this January. The base price is higher because the base L Eco mode is no more, but the front-wheel drive LE starting figure of $28,600 is only about $1,100 more than last year. An XLE is $32,000 and the Limited commands $35,600. Add $1,400 to any of these if you want all-wheel drive. As for fuel economy, Toyota estimates a staggering 57 mpg combined, 57 city, 56 highway. That's for the LE with front-wheel drive and 17-inch wheels. The XLE and Limited front-wheel drive models are good for 52 combined, 52 city and 52 highway on their standard 19-inch rolling stock. Prices for the Elantra range start at $20,700, including the $1,000 destination charge. The Limited trim starts and stops at $26,500, as there are no optional extras on this trim. Everything is standard, so all you need to do is pick a color. The biggest pricing issue with the Elantra Limited is its sibling, the Hybrid. Going for $29,100, there is no question that at this price point, $2,700 is a substantial gulf. But not only will the Hybrid Limited match the gas model on equipment, it offers far more low-end torque, and at 49 mpg city, 52 mpg highway, and 50 mpg combined, it's more economical. When it comes to performance and handling, aside from the obvious updates in the looks department, Toyota gave the Prius's powertrain massive upgrades to increase its output. For 2023, the Hybrid gets a larger gas engine with more horsepower and more torque, and neither is a small increase. Horsepower is up from 121 to 194 horsepower, or 60%. The new engine, a 2-liter versus last year's 1.8, is matched with a fresh lithium-ion battery pack that promises 14% more output. Alongside the horsepower and torque increases, the 0 to 60 time improves drastically, from a pokey 9.8 seconds to a respectable 7 seconds with all-wheel drive and 7.2 seconds in front-wheel drive models. That bests the 2023 Hyundai Elantra Hybrid and even the Camry Hybrid by a hair. On the road, the new car's lower height and broader stance also eliminates the feeling that it's up on tiptoes. The largely similar front strut and rear multi-link suspension has been massaged with handling in mind, featuring KYB dampers with an internal check valve that closes when subjected to lateral forces to firm up dampening in corners. Indeed, there is far less body lean than before, and the new Prius flows gracefully through corners. The ride is nicely buttoned down over most pavement irregularities, even with the XLE and Limited's low-profile 19-inch rubber. When it comes to the Elantra, it's one of several new hybrid models Hyundai has introduced recently, and its drivetrain is most similar to the gas-electric setup found in the Ioniq hatchback. A 104 horsepower Atkinson cycle gas inline 4 combines with a 43 horsepower electric motor and a small battery pack to provide a total of 139 horsepower, a bit less than the non-hybrid Elantra's 2-liter inline 4 offers. The 0 to 60 sprint is achieved in a respectable 8.4 seconds, which isn't exactly slow, but trails behind the Prius's 7 seconds. What most differentiates the Elantra from hybrid models which have a CVT is its 6-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, which makes it accelerate much more like a normal car. While many hybrids have gearless transmissions that causes the engine to drone loudly when you accelerate, we appreciated the Elantra Hybrid's noticeable but not obtrusive shifts that help avoid that auditory annoyance. Impressively quiet and refined for a compact sedan, the Elantra Hybrid goes down the road confidently, and you will certainly enjoy the nicely weighted steering and composed ride quality. So, which one should you choose? Well, while the Elantra does present a solid case for what can be a satisfying car to own, we have to give it to the Toyota Prius. Underneath the exterior alterations, interior upgrades, and new technology, The Prius is the car that set the tone for the electrification revolution more than 2 decades ago. The competition is sniffing at the Prius's door, and the market is much tighter than it was when Toyota's hybrid first launched, and its advantages are fewer. But the 2023 Prius is a huge leap forward. And remember, Toyota has had a long time to get this hybrid powertrain thing right. The new car's small price bump is absolutely worth it, because you get all the fuel economy of before without having to sacrifice good looks, reasonable performance, a dash of drive-in fun, or your dignity. So, which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on notifications for the latest car reviews and news. Take care, and see you in the next one.